welcome back to my channel. My name's Georgia. I hope you're well. Today I'm going to be filming my April wrap up. So it is now the end of April. I've had a really fun reading month and I just thought we could discuss it. I really hope that you guys have had a good reading month. If you have, let me know what you've been reading. I always love hearing what you guys have been up to and what books you've been enjoying. If we like similar sort of books, if you'd recommend what you're reading, definitely let me know in the comments down below. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. And as always, my social media, my Amazon, my Goodreads and my business and email are all in the description bar below. Let's get into my April reads. So the first book that I read in April was book 2 in the Zodiac Academy series. Now I read book 1 last month, so if you want to know sort of like my thoughts on that one, I'll leave it up here for you. Going into book 2, I really enjoyed this one. So if you don't know anything about this series, this set of twins, so it's Darcy and Tori, and they're basically just like normal human girls, just sort of trying to get on with life. They're orphans, so they're trying to sort of navigate the world on their own. And one day they just get approached by this guy who's basically like, hey, you're actually the heirs to the throne of Solaria, which is basically like this fake kingdom, so let's go. And they're like, what? So you can imagine the sort of shock of finding out that they're not who they thought they've been this whole time, and that part of them that they think's been missing, they now like sort of understand. So they basically go with the stranger. Don't ask me why, there's a whole thing about inheritance and everything, but it does make sense when you read it, I promise. So book 1 was basically them like sort of getting to know the world, whereas I feel like this book is them actually being part of that world now. They're becoming fae, they sort of know how it all works, and this one is massively based around revenge, which I was here for. I'm living for it. I love it. In book 1 there's basically these 4 other guys and they were just horrible to them the whole time that they've been there so far, whereas in this one, this is them sort of getting their revenge for all the horrible things that the guys have been doing for the past like however many months that they've been at the academy for. This one is just, yeah, I loved it so much. There's so many funny moments. They literally go through all 4 heirs and get like a piece of revenge on all of them, and I'm so here for it. I absolutely love it. There's also the start of some romances in this book as well, so we do see different parts of like Tori's and Darcy's love life and how that is all developing, which I really enjoy. But yeah, I absolutely loved this book. I did rate it 5 stars. It is a fantasy. There is quite a lot of sort of fantasy elements in these, so it's probably not the best place to start if you've not read any fantasy before, but equally they are sort of like academy teenage type books. It's a lot of banter, a lot of like funny moments, but a lot of sad moments as well, so take that as you will. But I really enjoyed this book and I rate this one 5 stars. I absolutely love it. My nose is so blocked and I feel like, ugh, I honestly just feel rough. This is like day 7. This is day 7 of my cold and I still feel like shit. So the next books that I read in April were the Powerless tandem read. Now I read Powerless and Powerful in the Powerless trilogy by Lauren Roberts. So depending on where you sit with novellas, I'm counting this towards my book goal. It's a big novella. For me, if it's over 150 pages, I'm counting it. So this counts towards my reading goal. I read these last year and absolutely loved them. So last year I rated them 5 stars and 4.5 stars, I believe. And I'm probably going to rate them the same this year. But I absolutely love this series anyway. I still haven't read the newest book because I'm currently doing sort of like a reading vlog with this whole series. So keep your eyes peeled for that. I am hoping to have that up in the next couple of weeks. I finally did the tandem read. I think it's so much better when you read them together. Like there's things that happen in this book that don't really feel like they have a lot of meaning, but then when you read it alongside this one, you see the fallout of a lot of the things that don't seem to matter in this one. So they still, I don't know, I just think it's so important. So this book follows Payden, and Payden sort of basically gets brought into these trials as an ordinary in a world full of elites, and it's basically sort of the fallout with that. So she's thrown into these trials with all these people that have all these powers when she is completely ordinary and has no powers and could be killed if anybody found out that she had no power. And then this one follows Payden's best friend and sort of how she gets on whilst Payden's gone. This follows Adina and a guy that she meets called Makoto, however you want to say it. I think that these books read together mean so much more and hit so much harder, and the ending of this book never fails to break my heart. It always does. And I also annotated these, which is the first time I've ever annotated books, and honestly it's such a nice experience. Like I'll definitely do it more going forward. Like it feels wrong highlighting in books, but I just think it's so nice to be able to flick back to pages and remember the bits that you loved. I'm not going to say any more on these ones just because, like I say, I'm going to be doing a dedicated reading vlog with this series. So just know that I love this series and I highly recommend it, especially if you've not read any fantasy before. I think this is a great place to start. I have read them separately and I have read them in tandem, and I definitely recommend the tandem read. I will leave a picture here of the reading order I use and I'll link it in the description box as well. But I love this. I love it so much. Go read it. And then the fourth book that I read in April was actually book 3 of the Zodiac Academy. I know I said I was going to read one a month, but the cliffhanger at the end of book 2 just did me. So I had to just pick it up. I had to see what happened. I had to see where we go from there. The ending of book 2 was just like, what? No. So we jumped straight in. I'm sorry. It's really hard to explain without sort of ruining it, but the ending of book 2 sort of sets up, like hints that there's going to be this big war. So this is sort of them preparing for that. In this book we do find out the order of the twins, which I absolutely love. There's still a lot more revenge and banter between the girls and the guys. There's a lot of development in like the different relationships in this book as well, by being that like romantic relationships or friendships. I feel like the ass party, if you've read it, you'll know what I mean. But I feel like there's a lot more sort of deeper connections made in that department, and also like the spice that we're getting in these between the girls and their sort of significant others, the people that they're sort of getting closer to during this series. There's a lot of development within those as well. We do get the order of the girls, and honestly I didn't see that one coming. I was surprised by that one, but I love it. And again, the ending of this book is a massive cliffhanger. There's all this darkness and like bad things are coming. Bad things are coming. I can feel it, and I'm scared. I am scared. Now that I've finished book 3 of the Zodiac Academy, I do plan on going into the Ruthless Boys of the Zodiac next. So that's 5 books in a different school, I think. So it follows a different set of characters. But this is the recommended reading order that I'm following. Again, I will leave it on screen, and if I can find a link, because I think I just found it on Instagram, but I can't remember, I just screenshot it, but I'll find it. I'll leave the link to it in the description box as well. But I absolutely love this one. I really enjoyed this again, and I think I rated it 5 stars as well. I loved it. I just love this series. It's going to become my whole personality. I've said it before, I'll say it again. This is my new personality. I love it, and I highly recommend it. Moving on to the last book that I read in April, I went for some fun little cowboy romance. So this is Off to the Races by Elsie Silver. I felt like I'd read a lot of fantasy and I just wanted a nice little palette cleanser. So my immediate thought is to always go back to Elsie Silver. I just find her writing so easy to follow, and it's just always such a nice, easy little book to go to. So this is book 1 in the Ruby Creek Gold Rush Ranch series. This one follows Billy and Vaughn. So Vaughn's grandfather owns this ranch, and basically he passes away, but during his passing some sort of like drama comes to light and some bad sort of news about him, and it basically turns out that his granddad has been sort of like, I don't know what the word is, but like rigging the races. So there's been quite a lot of bad press regarding the ranch. So when Vaughn sort of takes over, he's got this reputation to sort of get back. So he is on a mission to do that. And then we also have our main female character, Billy. Now Billy is a horse trainer, I believe is sort of like her title. So she goes for a job interview at Gold Rush Ranch to try and get the job of the horse trainer. She knows one of the guys that works at the ranch, and he's sort of like a family friend, so he's recommended her. Vaughn gives her an impossible task to try and basically give himself an excuse to sack her, and she proves him wrong. So he gives her the job of trading an untrainable horse, and he gives her 3 months to get him race ready. If she doesn't get him race ready, then she has to leave. If she does, she can keep the job. In this one we have sort of like that boss employee sort of dynamic. He's quite well off and she's sort of like trying to stay off the radar. There's some secrets with them, there's some mistrust, but it's such a lovely book. It's sort of like it's not an enemies to lovers, but it's definitely a dislike to lovers situation, and yeah, it was a great book. I did enjoy it. I have only rated this one 3.75 stars, and I think it's just because I'm comparing it to the Chestnut Springs series. I don't have book 1 because Molly's borrowing it at the moment, but I do think I'm definitely comparing it to that, and I enjoyed Chestnut Springs a lot more. So it is still lovely, it's still spicy, it's still really easy reading, but I'm not loving it like I did Chestnut Springs yet. But I'm only on book 1, so we'll see how we get on. But yeah, 3.75 stars for this one. Depending on where you stand with novellas, the 6th book that I read in April was Out of the Gates by Elsie Silver. So this is the little novella from Gold Rush Ranch series. This gives you the background of the ranch and how it came about, which I really liked. I do think it was a really lovely addition. This follows Vaughn's grandparents, so we get sort of like the development of the ranch and how the ranch came to be. I don't feel like you need to read this book, but I also do think that it's a really lovely addition to the story. It is only 100 pages, so I'm not going to be counting it towards my goals for the year or my reading challenge goals or anything like that, but it was a really lovely little addition and I did really enjoy it. I'm not going to give it a rating because I just think rating 100-page books is a bit strange, but I did really enjoy it. It's very spicy still, and I think that like getting to know how the ranch happened is just such a lovely little addition to the story. So like I said, this follows Dermot and Ada. It's an age gap romance. There's definitely a fuck it moment, which I think is really funny. And I also just love a fuck it moment in a book. I think it's great. And I do think if you've got the time to just read a little 100-page book, that I would recommend that you do it. I enjoyed it. I think it was a good little addition. It was funny. The sort of like dynamic between them was amusing. And I really enjoyed it. It did come in the back of this book as well, but I just picked it up on my Kindle because it was like 99p I think. I don't know if this is on Kindle Unlimited or if I got it on like a little deal. I'm not entirely sure, but I really enjoyed it all the same. So that is all the books I read in April. So I'm going to class it as 5 books and a novella because I'm counting 5 towards my reading goal. That's what I read this month. I really enjoyed them. I really hope you guys had a lovely reading month too. If you did, tell me what you've been reading. I'm nosy. I like to know these things. Let me know if you'd recommend reading them. And if you see any books that you've read or that you want me to read, let me know as well. So yeah, I had a really lovely reading month. I'm looking forward to the books that I'm reading in May. I think it's going to be a nice little time. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. And as always, my social media, my Amazon, my Goodreads and my business email will be in the description bar below. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you're well. See you later.